Spring break is in full session right now, which means summer is just around the corner. If you haven't already made your summer vacation plans, now's the time to do it. And today we have just the guest for you. Whitney Sims is a local travel agent here in Arizona, and we talked to her all about the inside scoop on how to get the best deals, travel tips, where to go, and more. You're not going to want to miss it.
I just heard this quote recently that travel is one of those things that you can spend money on that actually makes you richer. And that is why I am so excited for our guest, Miss Whitney Sims. Thanks for being with us, Whitney.
Thanks for inviting me.
I want to share just a quick little bit about you. So you are a travel professional with a passion for helping families see the world together. You are a BYU graduate, originally from the LA area. You and your husband have spent the past 28 years raising 3 kids while traveling the globe as a family, exploring destinations across South America, Africa, Asia, and Europe along the way. And it is your firsthand experience navigating the joys and challenges of family travel that help you guide others into meaningful adventures of their own. And when you're not planning trips, Whitney, you are an accomplished pianist who is currently learning both the harp and the game of mahjong.
Yep.
You are on the trends, girl, because that is a popular game.
It's fun.
Thanks for being with us. And we have known each other for a long time too, which is so fun.
So many years.
I know. And
We love your office, your team, everyone here.
Thank you. We love you guys. So let's talk all things travel. But before we do, I gave a small little bio, but I would love for you to just kind of expand on this because I love people's stories and where you grew up and why you moved to Arizona, and then also what led you into wanting to get into the travel industry.
Sure. Okay.
Oh, and I have to give a shout out to my co-host.
Hey.
Miss Heidi Neeley is with us today,
Yes.
so yay.
And I have been friends with Heidi for a long time too.
Yeah.
Love
Whitney
it.
and I have been neighbors and friends for many years.
I love it.
And when we talk about travel, I'll talk about the one cruise where she was the travel agent and I didn't use the travel agent, and it was a poor choice. So.
I hear that all the time. I hear it all the time. All right. Take it away.
Well, we moved here probably 20 years ago during that fun times of the banks crashing and the market going down. It was really fun.
Yeah.
My husband was in a bank startup, and so anyway, we've just stayed here, and he is still working at a bank, and so we've got 3 kids, and I would say maybe like 12 or 13 years ago, somebody on a whim asked me if I would go on a trip to the Dominican Republic with her. She was a photographer for a humanitarian group, and I thought, why not? And so I went with her, and it was life-changing for me. I had never seen like doctors and dentists at work with people who are more disadvantaged, and I really got to experience how they felt and asking for help. And then I got to work as the pharmacist, which I am not a pharmacist, but I got to, hand them their medicines and just really talk to the people there. I do speak Portuguese, but I did not speak Spanish, and it helped me I learned to communicate, and it was just an amazing experience. And I knew when I was there that I wanted to bring my family with me and go back. So the next year, I brought my 14-year-old, who's now 25, Ainsley, and she got to go to the local high schools with the group. It's called Days for Girls.
Oh, okay.
She went with Days for Girls, and they got to go to the high school and teach girls about like menstruation and how you get pregnant and female bodies, and it was life-changing for her. She had never done anything like that before and really hadn't talked about those types of things before. It gave her a goal to work on that more, and she ended up graduating college in public health, working with women's health. So that was really life-changing for her as well. Yeah. So after that trip by myself and then the trip with my daughter, we decided as a family our best bet was to be going on trips together. We did quite a few humanitarian trips, and then also we've just done some cultural and fun types of trips as well.
I love that. So you got into it because you have your own love for travel. You saw the benefits and the memories that you were able to make with your family. Today, in today's day and age, I think there's an idea out there that, well, you don't need a travel agent, right? I can just book it myself. What would you say to that?
You can totally book it yourself. It's doable. You can get online to Royal Caribbean and see what the prices are, and you can just book it yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's easy, and sometimes you just want to do it at that very second. However, if you use a travel agent, it can be so much easier along the way. Let's say you book this cruise and you paid $900 per person, and then in 2 months that price goes down by $200. I can call and get your price lowered as long as you haven't paid your final payment. Let's say you want to go on a trip to Germany. Well, you can say, hey, ChatGPT, tell me exactly what I need to do and where I need to go and what secret spots I can visit. And you can get a really great itinerary. However, if you ask me for help, I can give you my personal experiences, places that I've actually ate at myself. I can also create like a digital brochure or itinerary for you, which has links, hyperlinks to different activities you can do, places you can eat, maps to get there, and I do that free of charge. So you can use ChatGPT, or you can use a human who has some experience in it.
So this brings me up to the cruise that I went with Whitney on. One thing you should know about Whitney, she is a gatherer. Like she doesn't just take trips.
Yes.
She's always like, what friends want to go? And she makes it so fun. So anyway, we were doing this Mexican Riviera cruise. And this is before you were a travel agent, but you used a travel agent.
I did.
And pretty much everyone else in the group did. And I don't know why Ken and I didn't, but we just, I don't know. I let Ken do that kind of stuff. So he was like, I'll just book it myself. And I can't tell you, like at least 3 or 4 times, the rest of the group had dinner reservations and we were like, what are we doing? How does this work? And leading up to the trip, we were scrambling and Whitney's like, well, the travel agent just booked that for me. She took care of that for me. And then they got like onboard credit that we didn't get because I just didn't know. So that was really eye-opening for me where I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then there's some people who love all the research. I don't. I love going on trips, but I don't like doing all the homework leading up to it. So if you can hand that to someone who does love doing it and
Totally.
have that
And
done.
if you book a cruise through me, I will always give you onboard credit.
Yeah.
So.
I kind of compare it to, it's actually very similar, I think, to for sale by owner when it comes to real estate versus using a realtor or using, a travel agent. Like, of course, you can sell your house on your own and you don't have to have a realtor, right? Like, we can all do it. But there's so many things that go into that you just don't know. And oftentimes, that lack of experience and knowledge ends up costing you money, right? Or missing out on things because you just didn't know. And so that's why, for me, there's so much value. So let's talk really quick, Whitney. What does it cost to work with you?
It's free.
Okay.
It doesn't cost anything. Any of the money that I make is commission that I get through the hotel or through the cruise ship or whoever. And it's not any more expensive. Like, I'm not going to give you a price that's $100 more. It's the exact same price you can get if you go online and try to
So
book
to
it.
me, and I think that's a misconception, is people think, oh, well, it costs me, or I'll get a better deal if I don't, just like people think, same with realtors, right? That is not true, but also like the peace of mind. Like, one of my favorite things, I used a travel agent. I've always believed in using a travel agent. And I used one and I was like, we want to go to Cancun. Like, we want the best resort, like, and we had our kids, like all of that. She did everything, arranged our transfers, and literally just said, here's where you go, here's what you do. It was so nice,
Just
not having
show
to
up.
navigate that. And because she was familiar with Cancun, like super familiar, she knew, like, go stand over here. Like, she knew details more than what I could have even figured out on my own. So it's so worth it.
Yeah.
And I've also learned how important it is to use travel insurance
Yes.
being a travel agent. And I know Heidi had an
Yes.
experience with this lately.
Yes.
But we have a yearly plan of travel insurance, and I'm telling you, it is worth it because anytime you're a certain amount of miles away from your home, like your car breaks down, even if you're just on a little road trip to like snowflake. You can use your travel insurance, and we have used it various times, and it always has paid us back and been completely worth every penny.
So talk to us about travel insurance. Is that something we get through our insurance agent? Through you?
You could get it through me.
Okay.
Or you could go online and get it yourself. Either way, but I'm happy to do it for you. There's a couple different brands or companies you can go through. I usually go through Alliance. And we get a yearly plan. For our whole family that lives in the same home, I think it's about $420 for an entire year.
Okay.
But just as an example of us using it, we went on a cruise in October to like East Coast, kind of like a leaf peeper cruise. And it was a little bit rocky on the boat, so they wouldn't let us get off in Boston. So we had already paid for an excursion, not through the cruise ship, and we wanted to do the Yellow Duck or something like that tour.
Yeah.
And so we couldn't go, and we were not able to get our money back from them. We submitted a request into our travel insurance, and they paid us back for all the
nice.
tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So that's a good point. You just talked about a cruise. I think that was one of the ideas I had was travel agents are only for cruises, but that's not true. What do you do?
I have done Disney, which is super fun. Everybody loves Disney. And I've personally just done California, but I could also book something for Florida. I'm not as experienced in Florida, but I grew up in Los Angeles, so Disney is easy for me. And then also I can help you with any trips that you want. I'm currently helping a friend on a trip to Switzerland, she wanted to do a railway, everything through trains, and she's going through a whole bunch of cities, up into mountains, seeing Matterhorn and all kinds of cool things.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Any
So
trips,
all of
really.
it, any trip.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask, this is something we kind of talked about before we started, the idea of traveling with family, with kids. Tell us your thoughts.
I think that traveling with kids is the best way to create experiences and memories. We talked a little bit about how Christmas and birthdays, you spend a lot of money on your children and they don't even remember. Something gets thrown away. It's just money that sometimes can be wasted. So if you can budget and come up with a way to use that as more of a family experience, I think it's completely worth it.
Yeah. I heard that your kids won't even remember their Christmas or birthday presents from last year, but they will remember the vacations that they went on.
And let me tell you, it can be a learning curve. The first time we took the whole family on a trip to Europe, we had this bag. It was huge because we didn't want to pay for suitcases for everybody. So we had this enormous bag. It was like the size of a dead body, I think. And every time we would go upstairs or downstairs, my husband would be on one end and I'd be on the other, and we would just like pick it up and just take that big red bag down those stairs. And there's a lot of stairs in Europe. And oh my goodness, it was like, so we learned after that, everyone had their own like Osprey backpack and we didn't take any suitcases. And then there's little Alexa who was like 7 and she has this huge backpack on her. We learned that maybe our 8-year-old or 7-year-old couldn't take a big, it's an experience that we learn from.
Yeah.
But that being said, my kids have learned to eat all different kinds of foods, the way that they are just enjoying different cultures. Alexa went by herself, well, with a group, but not with us, to the Philippines last year. She ate balut.
Which is what?
It's like an egg that's partially...
Fermented?
Fertilized.
Oh,
it's fertilized. So it's a delicacy and it has like feathers and bones. So it like kind of crunches when you eat it. She totally ate it.
Wow.
And I just was like thinking how amazing it was that she would totally just eat the balut. And when we took our kids to Morocco, they were all eating tagine, which I could make squash for them and they would like never eat it, but they were like happy to try it and see if they liked it. And I
love that.
It's like a learning curve with
for
kids,
sure.
but
well,
so
and I
fun.
think too, one of the things we've done and one of the reasons why we've loved our Disney cruises is because they have adults only areas too. And then they have kids only areas. So your kids can go and play and be completely entertained. Even the teenagers, they have like teen spaces. And then they have areas where you and your spouse can go and just have like an adults only pool or adults only restaurants and stuff like that. And I loved that too. We're big on like doing as much family stuff as we can, but when you have those opportunities and the kids are happy, like it's nice to like escape too. So it doesn't have to just be 24/7, all of us together.
I totally agree.
So I have a question for you, Whitney.
Yeah.
We kind of alluded in your bio to the number of places you've been. I don't even think we really like fully got into that as much as we should. But having been all around the world on all different kinds of trips, I would love to know what your must-haves are for, say, a cruise or international travel. Like, what are those?
Oh, like what to take with you?
Yes. What are those like secret things that if I'm not experienced, I might not think to bring with me?
Okay. So I think like for a cruise, for example, my must-haves are magnetic hooks.
Smart.
Because we feel like you always need to hang up your bathing
Smart.
suits and they stick to the ceilings. Maybe a lot of people don't know that.
Smart.
And the walls. And then we also take like a shoe, I don't even know.
Door hanger.
Yeah,
type thing?
and
Yeah.
we put in all of our toiletries because the bathrooms are small.
Yeah.
Most cruise ships have really tiny rooms.
Yeah.
So we'll bring those. I'm sure there's some more. I probably have a little Amazon wish list that I share with my clients if you
so
go on a
good.
cruise for things
love
you could
that.
use. Going to Europe, we really just like to take backpacks. So we have some pretty big, they're not huge, but big enough that you can just fit a bunch in. I try really not to overpack.
Because they don't have the big wide sidewalks that we do here.
They
right?
don't. And there's a lot of cobblestone, and so you're pulling your sidewalks along. We're not big like take taxis everywhere type people. We tend to try to be more like the locals with eating our food, with walking around. We take the buses, we go on subways, things like that. That's just kind of how we are. So you do end up walking a lot and taking a suitcase along cobblestone and up, like, let's say you're at Paris, you've got stairs, and a lot of times they don't have anything for like wheelchair access. So it's a little tricky.
So speaking of Paris, that's going to be our family summer trip. I haven't booked it yet, and I'm freaking out. So I need
Flights
your
are a
help.
little expensive right now.
I know, I'm freaking out. I have points to use, but still, can you help
good.
with that?
Totally. We're going to Croatia this
Okay.
summer. So
Now, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
And you have to be honest, Whitney.
yeah.
In front of all these people listening. I heard this, that Europe, it's like a lot of pickpockets and you have to be really careful. Suitcases will get stolen, things like that. This episode is sponsored by Yvette Meyer with Old Republic Home Protection. For all your home warranty needs, contact Yvette at Old Republic Home Protection. Thank you for watching the episode. Our podcast is called The Real Deal, where real estate meets real life. And I love sharing these real life stories, but we are also in the real estate business. And so if you have any real estate needs, maybe you're thinking about buying or selling or wanting to invest in real estate, we would love to help you. Is that
So
true?
we've never had any problem with pickpockets, but I also am really conscientious about not leaving a phone in my back pocket or a wallet somewhere where it's easily grabbed. If I have my backpack and I'm on a subway, I will put it on my front. And then I also get these little clips that you can clip your zippers together so that they can't really undo. So I do try to be careful in advance, but I've never had a problem.
Okay.
Knock on wood.
So, but how do you fit all that in a suitcase or in a backpack?
So I try to be more like, what can I wear these jeans with, right? And then I wear the jeans for a couple days.
Okay.
Or also we will get an Airbnb that has a washer.
Okay.
And in Europe, that can be kind of fun because you have to hang your stuff up to dry.
Okay.
So one time we were in Portugal and we had this clothesline that like went to the next building over.
Yeah.
And so we got to learn how to pull the clothesline, hang the things, and then like pull them out. And it was kind of fun, actually. It was a good little experience.
We did a trip to Dublin and London with all of our kids, and The washing machines was a real experience. That was another example of like exposing your kids to something new. They were often in the kitchen. They were usually very small, and there was typically never a dryer.
Yeah.
And so after several days, my youngest son, he was kind of at the bottom of the pecking order behind his sisters. And so finally he's like, I need to wash my clothes. But without telling me, he put everything into the wash one night. And we were only staying one night, and he thought it was also a dryer, and
And then
wasn't.
everything was wet.
And so I kind of panicked, but we hung things on the radiators, and by the next morning, it was all perfectly dry.
Perfectly
And yeah,
Good for him for trying.
I was like, "Ah."
That's so cute.
Yeah.
That's where
So, wash
having
clothes.
a travel agent can be really helpful because they know
Yeah.
that stuff and they can prepare you in advance for that, right?
Yeah, if you're in a hotel,
Yeah.
you can pay a little bit of money to get your laundry done
Okay.
during the week.
Yes.
But otherwise, I'll just rewear clothing. Honestly,
Okay.
nobody's looking closely enough at your pictures
Yes,
to say,
I
oh my
know.
gosh, Janine wore that
I
shirt
know,
yesterday.
I
They
know.
don't care.
Yeah.
I think we care probably more than
So
anyone
pack
else.
light.
Pack light.
Just pack light. It's worth it.
Absolutely.
Do you have like a preference? Do you love cruises over like land travel? Like
I like to just mix and match.
mix and match. Okay.
do all the
What's your
different
favorite
things.
cruise?
We are going on one in a month to the Southern Caribbean, and we already did that same cruise last year. But I got this cruise for $400.
For how
Wow.
long?
It's for a whole week, and it leaves from
Amazing.
Puerto Rico and goes down to like some of the coolest places, St. Croix and Antigua, and just
That's
it's like a
awesome.
really cool cruise. And so my husband loves to scuba.
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah.
But we'll try to go to the Southern Caribbean ones because they have really good scuba diving.
Okay. So when it comes to cruises, sometimes they have like really amazing deals. And one of the things that I've noticed in following you is that sometimes you'll post those, right?
Yeah.
So if someone's listening and they want to follow you, where can they find you?
They can find me on my Instagram page, which is at Whitney's Journey Co. And you can probably link it.
Yes, we will,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And I just like to share maybe funny things about my family traveling or special deals that go on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Okay.
if you see a Royal Caribbean deal or a Carnival deal or a, I don't know,
Yeah.
Holland America, I can totally get those deals for you.
Okay.
Just
I
reach
want to
out to me.
ask you about two things, so don't let me forget. One of them is Alaska, but the other one I want to ask you is what is their time of year like for the best deals to travel?
Okay, I think the best time of year to actually get a deal would be like Thanksgiving-ish,
Okay.
and then into the new year.
Okay.
But you can always find deals. There are always specials going on
Okay.
because they're trying to get you buying things year round.
Yes.
So whether it's like, oh, get free drinks or a free dinner package or whatever, or
Okay.
$400 off or whatever, they'll try to
Okay.
give you something. But if I book a cruise for you, I'll always give you something free.
Okay.
Like even out of my own money, I'll
Okay.
buy you something because it's fun and I really enjoy
I
it.
love that.
Yeah.
Is the drink package worth it?
I guess that depends on who you are.
Okay.
For me, it's not worth it.
Okay. But if you
Um,
drink,
So you can usually get the soda for like $9.99 a day,
okay.
which you'd have to buy probably 2 sodas to make
Okay.
it worth it.
Okay.
But I don't even drink soda,
Yeah.
so
So they have like a soda package and
Yeah.
like an alcohol package?
they do.
Oh,
And they have an
okay.
alcohol. They even have a package that is like fancy drinks, non-alcoholic.
Oh.
And that's maybe 20-ish, 25
Okay.
bucks a day. So you can still get like your virgin pina coladas if alcohol is not your thing.
Okay.
And so depending on how much
Yes.
you like to drink your fancy
Yes.
drinks. And then the
Okay.
alcohol one, same thing. It depends on how much
Okay.
you like
Okay.
to drink. Some people go on those cruises and it is all about just
Yes.
drinking and enjoying themselves
Yes.
100%. So
Yes.
if that is you, it's worth it. If you're like, I just want one glass of dinner type person, then it's probably not for you.
Yeah.
I would say like going on a Canada cruise or something, people are not out there like by the pool. It's freezing.
Yes.
And so there's way less drinking going on.
Okay. Okay.
Right? But a lot of times you're in Mexico and the people, you know,
Yeah.
the people are just like,
Yeah.
How
Chill with their
about
drinks.
how about excursions? Booking those through the cruise line versus not. Do you have an opinion on that?
I mix and match, to be honest with you, because sometimes like if I have an onboard credit, why not use it for an excursion? It's a great idea. And sometimes they have really great sales on them. But I also really enjoy through Viator or Get Your Guide or different companies, they can offer some really good deals too. And sometimes I have a coupon code like, hey, 15% off a Viator deal. And I think that they can be just as good. I'm the type of person who will get back to the ship early, and I'm never worried about that.
Yes.
If you are always late, then you might want to stick with the boat.
Yeah.
Because they won't leave you if you go with them. But they'll leave you if you take your own.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Your own
That's a
excursion.
good note.
Yeah. So like if you're on this all day thing and it's supposed to come in at 4:30
Yeah.
and you got to be on that boat at 4:45,
Oh, that would be
like
stressful.
I would not risk it.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about Alaska cruises because it's something my husband has been like wanting to do, and his birthday is coming up, and I had looked into it, but it wasn't the right time of year. Is that yes? Is that right?
Well, I mean, you wouldn't want to go in the winter.
Yes.
Right.
So when do you go? When is a good
Most
time?
of the Alaska cruises are through the summer, and then I'm sometimes into the beginning of October. You went on one last year, right?
Yeah, and I think that when we were there, they said the season starts around Mother's Day.
Yes.
Because they're getting snow sometimes into May.
Yeah.
And then their high season is like June, July, August.
Yeah. His birthday's in April, and I couldn't find any.
You
Yeah,
almost
'cause-
have to wait until the
Yes.
summer.
You'd be buried in snow up there.
Yeah, I don't want
It would just be so cold.
Yes, I don't want to.
So Alaska does sound fun. I've never been on one, but I know you really enjoyed yours.
Yeah.
And I did book one for someone for September. So I
Okay.
know they go into the very beginning of the fall. It would probably be a little bit chilly, but
Yeah.
I'm one that I tend to prefer going to a place versus doing cruises. But I will say Alaska was really well suited to a cruise because there's so many places you want to see, but they're very far apart.
Okay.
So the cruise ship can get you to a lot of cool places
Okay.
in a week, where if you just flew to Alaska,
Right.
you're not going to get to that many places because it's so remote.
And I have the same experience with going on a cruise in Greece because there were a lot of places in Greece we wanted to visit. So going on a ship just around every night, it would travel to a new place and then you could spend all day there. And then in the morning you wake up at a new island. So I
Yeah.
really enjoyed the Greece one.
So Greece, I heard, because I also looked at doing that for our summer trip. That's what my daughter really wanted. But I heard like June, it's like very humid, like really not a good time.
We went in October, I think.
That's what I heard is
So,
a good
I mean,
time.
I think all of Europe can be pretty warm,
Really?
but so can Arizona.
Oh, for sure.
So
Yeah.
I think if you're out walking around, I mean, it's coastal, it's not terrible. If you're there like staying in a hotel, you just want to
Okay.
make sure that you have an air conditioner,
Yes.
a really good fan if they
Yeah.
don't. But your cruise ship will always have air conditioning. So
Okay. Okay. All right, Whitney, we want to know your like top 5 travel tips. What would you say? Or like, here's my best advice when it comes to
top
travel.
5.
Besides hire Whitney to do all the work for
I would
you.
have, well, I expected her to, right?
That
to
should
say
be
that
number one.
I would say number 1 is probably don't be afraid to go with your kids. Take them at any age.
Love it.
Number 2, I would say the best destinations to go to are those with culture and activity. Number 3, don't overpack.
That's a hard one for me.
Yeah. Number 4, have the attitude of being flexible and friendly.
Okay.
There's always going to be something that will go wrong. Nothing
Okay.
ever is perfect. But if you can be flexible and kind to everyone around you, isn't that like,
Huge.
it's huge.
It's so huge.
Be friendly.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Don't be grumpy.
Yeah.
Which brings me to number 5, which is make sure you eat. I think we forget sometimes to like feed our children or ourselves and we're so busy.
Yes.
Eat the food. I get hangry.
Oh, yes.
And bad.
Yeah.
My kids are like, they'll tell you way too many stories about like, Mom swore at me because I'm like, yeah, I needed food. I'm sorry. So
Yeah. What do they say? Like most time our grumpiness or whatever, it's like we're tired or
Yeah.
we're hungry, right?
Right?
Which
And
I
you're
feel like
probably
when you're
going to-
traveling, you
It's
do
easy
get
to
tired,
fall into
hungry,
that.
all these things.
Yes.
Oh, which brings me to a question. Do you have any tips on dealing with jet lag? What's your like pro tip on
Oh.
making sure you're not sleeping through the
Sure.
whole trip?
I just make sure I sleep on the airplane and stay awake the whole day that I get there.
Like reset
Like
your, yeah.
I absolutely will not fall asleep.
Yeah.
And even if I'm drinking Coke at 7:30 p.m. and I'm trying so hard to just stay awake till a normal time.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's really hard.
Okay.
But if you can stay awake that first day and then try to sleep really well, and I sleep with a sound machine when I'm on vacation because it really helps me sleep better.
Yes.
I would say that's my best tip. Usually by day 2, I'm good.
I love it.
Yeah. So just don't take that nap that you're going to want to
Don't take it. Don't go and take a nap. Just don't. Even if you didn't sleep on the airplane at all.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
That's the worst.
Try to just stay awake all day.
I have the funniest story I have to share with you guys. We did a red-eye flight to Washington, D.C., and it was a trip with my girls and their school. And so it was actually amazing. It's one of my most favorite trips because everything was planned out. We just showed up and they just told us they would be like, okay, be down at 7:30 in the morning. And they had everything planned. It was so amazing. I loved that. But it was so funny because we took a red eye and most of us didn't sleep very well on the flight. And then as soon as we landed, it was like, go. Like there was no like go to the hotel and take a nap. It was like, we're going to go this tour, this tour, this tour. And by the end of the night, we were in Williamsburg, which is beautiful and so neat. Highly recommend it. And we're in this like a performance show and it was really dark and moody. And it was like live and
Biting
we're
your
all,
cheeks.
and everybody was sleeping. And I felt so bad for the actors because it was so intimate. I'm like, they're going to think we're like so bored. But if they only knew we were up all night and that's why we're like it was hilarious. I felt so bad. So yeah, drink your soda, whatever you need to do to
try
stay
so
awake.
hard.
We were
Try so
trying,
hard.
but it was just not, it was like very moody anyways.
The worst for me was Israel. That was the hardest time I ever had
Okay.
getting established with like the times. We were there probably 10 days and I think the entire time I was tired.
Really?
I really struggled.
So that brings me to a question, Whitney, and I hope you'll be honest with us. Like travel stories that were like nightmares. Like what is one that stands out where you're like, oh my gosh, this was a disaster?
You know, I don't think I've ever had a disaster trip. There always are things that make it a little bit tricky or like mom's hungry and didn't eat. That's probably the worst. But I can't really think of anything horrible.
Okay.
But one of my favorite things, which comes from being a little tricky, is I went with Ash, my second kid, to Brazil.
Okay.
And we were at Iguazu Falls. And Ash does not like water at all.
Yeah.
And so part of the trip, you go on these boats and then you go like underneath the waterfalls. And there's like this Argentine side and a Brazilian side, but you can't go there and not go through the waterfalls. It's like the whole point of being there. And Ash was like, I'm not doing it.
Oh no.
And so I was like, I'm not even sure how I can't leave my child here and go by myself. So we made a deal.
Okay.
And we were on our way to Paraguay after that. And we had this whole ropes course, like rappelling down a mountain thing that I was not going to do. And so we had to make like a deal where I will do the ropes course and I will rappel down that mountain. But you've got to go into the water. And so we both did what we said we would. And both of us were so proud of ourselves, but also it made the trip so much better.
Like
just
that memory.
Something more memorable. Yeah.
So lesson, like don't be afraid to bribe your kids is what I'm hearing.
100%. Exactly.
Okay, Heidi, I have to ask you, do you have any travel nightmares?
I do. I have a few. Nothing that ruined the whole trip, but definitely like things that we always remember. So one, we were going to fly to Hawaii. And on the way to the airport, Ken's like, I'm hungry. I'm just going to pull over to this Burger King. And I was like, we got to get there. And he's like, no, we have time. We totally missed our flight. And then the next flight was delayed several hours. So we lost like half a day. And ever since then, whenever we're traveling, we always just tell Ken Burger King to say, we don't have time to stop. Because he's, there's that one person who says, we don't need to be at TSA until 10 minutes before our flight. And then the other person who wants to be there 3 hours early. And they marry each other. So we give Ken a hard time about that.
That's a good one.
But the bigger one was our trip that we just took to Mexico over Christmas. And it was beautiful in the beginning. We had this lovely Christmas day at this beautiful lagoon, snorkeling. It was wonderful. And then about a day or two later, halfway through our trip, we decided to go and just have a beach day at like a, more of a swimming beach. And we hadn't been there 10 minutes. And my son lost his glasses in the ocean. Like he didn't take them off, and that was the only pair he had. So all of us are in the water, hoping against hope that we could find these glasses. And then while that's happening, my daughter, who had this heart condition, her heart condition kicked up. So we ended up having to go to a Mexican hospital where they kept her for 24 hours. And then my husband, I stayed with my daughter at the hospital. My husband had to find a Mexican optometrist to find our sunglasses. Yeah, so that was a little rough. And we did not have travel insurance. And so even though we'd met our deductible, it about doubled the cost of the trip to stay in a Mexican hospital. So
Yeah.
definitely get the insurance. But we still had
That
fun.
actually reminded me of we actually went to Mexico one time and they had a hurricane.
Oh.
And it was a big one. But I don't think of it as a terrible trip because it was so
just
fun.
a memory. Yes.
Yeah, we went with some friends. We had our own rooms and they moved us because our windows were like facing, I guess, where the glass could shatter. So they moved us we had to share a room with them, and we had all our kids with us. I don't know, whatever. It was just really fun.
Yeah.
And no one slept at all. We just like watched out the window. And it was scary, but like totally memorable.
Yeah, yeah.
And we couldn't leave our apartment for like 2 or 3 days
Oh,
other than
wow.
right downstairs. So we were like going to get buckets of water from the pool to flush the toilets because there was no water or power.
Oh my God.
And oh my gosh, it was the best though. We had so much fun.
Oh.
It is one of the most memorable trips ever. So I didn't really think of it as a disaster, but I guess it could be.
I guess that's true, right? Like in the moment, it's like horrible, and you're like, oh my gosh. But then when you look back, you're like, I can laugh at it now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and I feel like, we're talking about travel, expanding your horizons, expanding your kids' horizons. And mostly we think of travel as something fun to do, but really it can teach them resilience too. How
Isn't
to
that
roll
so
through
important?
things that are unexpected and still find the good, still find the things to laugh about. I
love
think
that.
is so huge.
Yeah.
So true.
Okay, Whitney, what didn't we ask you that we should have asked you?
Oh, let me see if I have any notes. No, I can't really think of anything. We
covered it all?
Covered so many different things.
Okay. I want to share a quick story, and then I want to jump in, if you're up for it, some rapid fire questions, okay? Are you up for it?
Yeah.
Okay, really quick, I want to share this story because I think it's like a great reminder of why we travel. I shared this story with you before we jumped on, that we were in Pigeon Forge staying at our friend's Airbnb, and there was a zip line really close to where this was, and it was a very expensive zip line. We've zip lined many times, I think like as a family, like 5 or 6 times, and they're so fun. So we thought, oh, this will be beautiful, but it was really expensive. Long story short, I asked my friend, like, hey, is that zip line worth it? Like, should we do it? And he was like, Janine, you can always make more money, but you can't make those memories again. So go do it, make the memory with your family, you'll make the money later. And I was like, you know what, you're right. And so I think when it comes to travel, if we can think about, you got to budget with it, right? We want you to be smart and not like go crazy, but it's so worth it to have those memories because as we said earlier, chances are that's what our family will remember more than some of the gifts and all of that stuff. It's those experiences together. So I think it's super cool what you do because you allow for those types of opportunities, right, for families. Okay. All right, rapid fire. You ready?
Maybe.
Okay, favorite color?
Red.
Favorite drink?
Water.
Ooh, I don't know if I've ever had that one. Favorite food? And you're
Ice
a
cream?
foodie. I feel
Probably
like you're
ice
a foodie.
cream.
Yeah? Do you have
Yeah.
a favorite ice cream place?
I like all ice cream.
Do you?
And
Like, I
is
just
the ice
love
cream place in Paris?
Gelato.
Gelato.
Let's even go deeper. Yeah, I love ice cream.
Okay, awesome. Do you have a favorite book?
The Nightingale.
Oh,
That's
I've heard that one.
Great book.
I keep hearing that one. I think that'll have to be my next read.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, do you have a favorite podcast?
Yours.
Oh, yes. We did not pay her to say that. All right, last but not, well, actually, no, 2 more. Favorite vacation?
I can't pick one favorite, but I really loved seeing Scotland. Edinburgh.
Yes.
It was like a dream as soon as I got off the train.
Really?
It was like Harry Potter world. It was amazing.
I've heard such good things. Again, we're going to have to talk after this. Okay, last but not least, Whitney, what do you want to be known for?
Probably not a travel agent. I'd probably like to be known as a really good mom and wife and friend. and somebody who people would like to be around.
I love it. I love it. I would agree. I would agree. Well, thank you, Whitney, for being with us. I hope everyone listening will go and follow you. Again, we will link it. And thanks for sharing.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to the Real Deal podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe, and you can follow us on social media at the Home Selling Team AZ.